I swear, I find it fascinating how social justice is the only ideology in human history, and in fact, planet Earth, where you can have some of the most wealthy, well connected celebrities cry for compassion and expect it from the poor. Because usually it's the other way around if you think about it. It's usually the poor that need empathy and compassion for the rich. But again, you got social justice, which is the only upside down ideology. And it culminated with Meghan Markle, an actual royalty, a person that doesn't have to pay taxes, crying on television next to her royal husband in front of Oprah, another very wealthy person, about how she's experiencing racism in the royal family. And then you go on Twitter and you say, dude, I don't give a shit. Like, go cry in her bags of money. Why? You don't understand. Like, just because she's rich doesn't mean she isn't suffering. Like, we need to care. And it's like, okay, I care. But, like, when do we get to care about, I don't know, the orphans? Like, do you notice that orphan children, like, never appear in public discourse anymore? At all? You know, homeless people, they're usually like a nuisance. Like, when they appear, like, everyone thinks about California, which a lot of them are the way they are due to substance abuse. So I wouldn't say, like, they're the standard for all homeless people everywhere. But, like, again, like, we don't just have compassion for the needy. We don't have compassion for the poor and the people that are marginalized. Instead, we say, okay, well, people of color are marginalized, and this insanely wealthy person, she is a person of color as well, and therefore we need to care about her. It's insane. I don't know. It's just like clown world. But it's also interesting. So you have this lady, which apparently is doing very well in her career, right? Like, people are saying she's finally in a good place in her career. And she's taking the time to complain about what happened years ago, like more than 5 years ago, over the fact that she received criticism online. And again, these are like the major first world problems that the media forces us to care. I don't know, like, do people in the West do not struggle financially at all? Like, do you guys, you know, never have a time when you're thinking, oh my goodness, I can't pay the bills? You know, like this month, the car broke down. I had to attend to a wedding. On top of that, we had some guests coming over. And out of all of that now I may not have money to pay for the bills. Like, does that not happen? Like, is that, like, not a genuine problem that someone can face? Do you guys, like, not have a time when a family member passes away or some shit like that? Or when you go to work, right, at McDonald's, getting abuse from your boss or getting abuse from a customer, right? Well, apparently that's not as bad as getting bad shit being said on Twitter. Especially when you're a celebrity. Like, I don't know of a single content creator that doesn't have more than 10,000 subscribers that doesn't get abuse. Like, it's the fucking internet. This is normal, right? But we need to pretend, oh no, this is a special case. This is like, how can a celebrity, how can one of the wealthiest people on the planet get abuse on Twitter? Oh, goodness gracious. And then we have to also assume that the reason she's getting abuse is just simply because she's existing. Like, all of this is in a vacuum. It's not connected to anything. It's not contextual. It's just bad, you know? And so, the reason that she's getting abuse, and by the way, like, abuse is, like, really watering down the very definition, right? Like, she wasn't getting doxxed. She didn't have, like, pizza sent to her home. Like, she didn't get the internet nasty shit. She got, like, a couple of criticisms. And I remember, like, Disney going onto the trailer and removing all of the level-headed criticisms and leaving out the unhinged ones just to create the illusion that the fans are demented. She decided to star in a movie, and by the way, obviously not her fault, but the way the marketing for the movie was done was insanely antagonistic and specifically designed to trigger this type of reaction. The company just pushed her forward in order to aggro the customer base, in order to spark division, because people being angry on social media sells. When you have a lot of people that are flinging vitriol, that they're using the hashtag Star Wars, all of a sudden Star Wars is trending, right? And the company used her as a magnet for all the racism and abuse. So if anything, she should be mad at Disney. How did they market Star Wars? Well, the way they marketed is Star Wars was a brand which belonged to the geeks. You know, people that were at the fringes of society. Like, if you went to school and you were a geek, you would often get bullied. Like, people didn't like Star Wars because it wasn't popular at the time. It was, like, again, a geeky thing, right? Like, people who like sci-fi, the nerds. And most of the women, they didn't like the nerds, they liked the jocks. And I'm telling you this from experience, because I grew up in those times. But all of a sudden, you have Disney taking over Star Wars, and they're like, okay, well, most of our audience seems to be male. Like, we probably have, like, 70% men, 30% women, if that. And the main reason is, like, again, women don't like violence. Right? Like, they don't like seeing people getting beheaded. They don't like people seeing with their arms getting slashed. And that's pretty much why Star Wars was most popular with the guys. But Disney said, okay, well, we got like 70% guys. We can just change the marketing. Those 70% guys are going to watch no matter what, because they're addicted. And so even if we piss on them, even if we're being antagonistic to them, they're still going to watch. And they had like this huge campaign of girl power, and they had like this huge campaign with the Force is female, and they had actors go out in public to say antagonistic stuff, and you know, this was connected to feminism, the ideology which at the time was getting hashtag yes all men, as in all men are rapists trending, and that we live in a rape culture, and America is a patriarchy, and 1 out of 5 women are raped. Did you guys remember that? Right, like the ideology that pushed for censorship online, and they would go into various spaces just to censor, and that's the ideology that Disney allied itself with. So, like, they took an IP that they didn't create. They're not George Lucas, right? Like, they just had the money to buy the IP, and then did this extremely antagonistic marketing, and then push this actress forward, which, you know, dragged some of the criticism from the internet, which, again, I remember I was there. It wasn't that fucking bad. Mute button existed for her. Block button existed. She could have reported. But no, she didn't do that, which leads me to believe that, well, maybe she was part of the marketing campaign. Maybe this was in order to sell the movie. But at the end of the day, I am so sick and tired to pretend that I care about actors. It's like, you got bags of money. You know, if you want, you can hire security. You can have, like, if you feel unsafe because of Twitter, you can hire 2 private cars to walk in front of you, 2 to walk behind, and a helicopter on top, because you're really that fucking rich. I'm not saying that people should criticize others on social media, because I'm not doing it. I didn't say a single bad thing on her. But, like, why should I care? Why exactly? What is my investment? Who cares about me if someone harasses or criticizes me, right? I like to care about the marginalized and the actual oppressed, you know, because my level of empathy is finite. And so this is why it's not really getting traction, but it's interesting. Every now and then you basically have like another article pushing another Hollywood celebrity and telling us why they have a hard time. But unfortunately, they're not pushing Hollywood celebrities to say, oh, they played in this movie and it was extremely successful. They're not doing that anymore. I wonder why. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the pinned comment. Take care.